The city hummed below them, all neon and distant sirens, but up here on the half-finished high-rise, the only sound was wind threading through exposed rebar. Ochako Uraraka wasn't supposed to be here. She wasn't supposed to be anywhere near here, not after curfew, not without telling Deku or Ida or anyone at all. But she came anyway. Every third night for 2 months now, she came anyway. "You're late," Toga said from where she sat cross-legged on a stack of plywood, swinging a leg that ended in a scuffed boot. "I almost left." "You never leave first," Ochako said, settling beside her, careful to keep a respectable few inches between them that never seemed to last more than a minute. "True," Toga grinned, and in the moonlight her eyes caught gold, feline and bright. "I like watching you get nervous when I threaten to." "I'm not nervous." "You're always nervous. It's cute." Toga leaned back on her palms, tipping her face to the sky. "Tell me something today, something you haven't told me yet." It had become a ritual, this trading of small truths, as though friendship between them needed to be built brick by brick out of confessions too minor to matter to anyone else. Ochako had told her about her parents' plumbing business, about the ache of scholarship money and the guilt of accepting help. Toga had told her, once, about a boy in middle school who called her a monster before she'd ever cut anyone, and how she'd decided that if the word was coming regardless, she might as well earn it on her own terms. Ochako hadn't known what to say to that. She still didn't. "I got top marks on my last provisional exam," Ochako said now, picking at a loose thread on her glove. "Everyone congratulated me, and I just kept thinking about how I'd rather be here." Toga went very still, which was rarer and more telling than any of her wilder reactions. "You shouldn't say things like that to a villain," she said finally, voice soft in a way it rarely was. "You're not a villain to me." "I am, though. That's the whole point, Ochako-chan." Toga's smile came back, but it trembled at the edges. "That's why this is fun, because it's not supposed to happen." Ochako looked out at the skyline, at the hero agency lights blinking steady and self-important in the distance, and felt something twist in her chest. Not guilt exactly, though guilt was in there too, tangled up with something warmer and more frightening. "Doesn't it ever feel like too much?" she asked. "Sneaking around, lying to everyone." "Everything feels like too much," Toga said, shrugging. "That's just how I live. But you," she turned, studying Ochako with an intensity that made her want to look away and never once tempted her to. "You don't have to live like that. You have people. A whole future all lined up and shiny." "I know." "So why do you keep coming back?" Ochako thought about lying. It would have been easier, cleaner, the kind of thing a good hero in training would say. "Because I want to understand you, because maybe I can help you, because everyone deserves saving." All true in their way. None of it the real answer. "Because when I'm with you I don't have to be careful," she said instead. "Because you make me laugh in a way nobody else does. Because—" She stopped, heat crawling up her neck. "I don't know, because I like you, just you, not a project, not somebody to fix." Toga's breath caught, audible in the quiet, and for once she didn't have a quick retort loaded and ready. She just looked at Ochako with something raw and unguarded, something that looked almost like hope trying very hard not to be hope, because hope was dangerous for girls like her. "You're gonna get in so much trouble," she said eventually, quiet. "Probably." "I mean it. If they knew, if Endeavor's kid knew, or that green-haired boy." "I know, Toga." "Then why aren't you scared?" Ochako considered the question seriously, the way she considered everything, turning it over like a stone in her palm. Below them, the city kept humming, indifferent to two girls balanced on the edge of something neither of them had a name for yet. "I am scared," she admitted. "I just decided I'd rather be scared with you than safe without you." Toga made a small sound, something between a laugh and something else, and closed the distance between them until their shoulders pressed together, warm through the fabric of their jackets. Neither of them said anything else for a while. They didn't need to. The wind kept moving through the rebar, and the city kept humming. And somewhere far below, people who called themselves heroes patrolled streets that had no idea two girls sat above them, building something the whole world would call impossible. Same time in 3 days, Toga asked when Ochako finally rose to go, brushing dust from her uniform. Same time, Ochako confirmed. She didn't look back as she climbed down the scaffolding, because she knew if she did, she might never make herself leave at all, and there was still, for now, a life waiting for her on the other side of that choice, however much it had started to feel like the wrong one.